On the bright side, this is the one that I have like the least to say about, so we should be able to get through this one pretty quickly and move on to the next one, which is another one that people like that I don't. Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is the conclusion of the Thor trilogy. It starts with Thor finding out that Asgard is going to end through a process called Ragnarok, and then Odin dies, and then Thor and Loki's sister Hela shows up, and she takes over Asgard, and she kicks Thor and Loki out of the Bifrost at different points in time, and they somehow both end up landing on a planet called Sakaar, which is a junk planet in the movie, and that's where Hulk has been for the last 2 years, for some reason. So Hulk, Thor, Loki, and a character named Valkyrie, who's a scrap yard person, bounty hunter, used to be Asgardian, all make their escape back to Asgard so they can defeat Hela and save Asgard from the end of Asgard. But they learn that they can't stop it, they have to cause it. And so Ragnarok happens. Firelord Surtur, the destruction of Mjolnir, inner power. I don't like this movie. I don't like it as a Thor movie. I barely even like it as a Marvel movie and as a movie. Oh boy. Because here's the thing, right? The first movie tells you that Thor draws his power from the hammer because the inscription on it says, "Whosoever wields his hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." So if he regained worthiness, how come his power didn't just erupt from him when he had to defeat the Destroyer? Why did the hammer fly all the way over to him from dozens of miles away? That proves that the hammer is the source of his power, right? Same thing happens in well, not same thing, but like power from the hammer in Dark World and the first two Avengers movies. But in this movie, when he loses the hammer, it turns out that his power was within him all along. And when I first saw the trailer and he had like lightning coming off of him, I thought that was the Odin Force because I figured Odin was going to die in this movie. And what happens in the comics when Odin dies is his source of power, the Odin Force, goes down to Thor and becomes the Thor Force. So I thought it was the Thor Force. No, it wasn't. It was just the power of Mjolnir, but without actually being Mjolnir. Doctor Strange is also in this movie for some reason, and so is Heimdall for some other reason. And Zachary Levi's, well, I guess I should just say Fandral, Hogan, and Volstagg all die for some reason. Luckily, Sif wasn't in the movie, so she's alive out there somewhere. And this movie really just dumps all over the previous Thor movies. I know they're not the best movies, but like, at least the lore was interesting, the world building was cool, but none of that happened anymore. Well, it happened, I guess, but it was so retconned and it doesn't matter, none of it's important. But then it gets retconned again in Infinity War, so it's just like, well, what was the point of anything that I just saw? How did Hulk end up on Sakaar when he flew the Quinjet? I know the Quinjet can survive in space. I know that about Marvel Comics, that Quinjet can work in space. But to get from Earth to Sakaar, which is at the end of the universe, seems like it would have taken longer than the 2 years that he was there. Even if he did find a portal to go through, how did he... CGI in this movie is bad. It's real bad. The comedy is good, I guess, in some places, but the CGI is bad. It's bad. It's real bad. It's bad. And apart from the performances, there's really nothing in this movie that gets it done for me. The aesthetic, the soundtrack, all that stuff feels very aped from Guardians of the Galaxy, and it hardly even works for Guardians of the Galaxy, so the fact that they try to steal it and put it in this one really doesn't work for me. But I'm going to go ahead and stop wasting your time and tell you that Thor Ragnarok is okay, but you probably won't remember it in a couple days. Thor Ragnarok, I know you've seen it, so please comment on this video. I just need to feed myself and my family. Subscribe if you're new.
Если ты не знал, наркотик не класс, я еду на Харбас.